All right, awesome. So we are recording, and this is COM 115 course expectations, everything you need to know to pass the class. And hopefully by the end, like I said earlier, you will get an opportunity to feel more comfortable with the course. So let me just start first by giving you the general outlook of COM 115. So little caveat, if you didn't know already, in any collegiate program, you're going to have a communication class that you have to take as a prereq. So for those of you who are thinking, I don't need a communication class, I've been communicating all my life, I don't see how this applies to my career, I would say first, make sure you take a look at the videos that are posted for the week 1 Spark and Yellow Dig that are geared to each of your career paths to see what your mentors have to say about that. And then also just know you're not alone. It is a step to get to where you're going and where you want to be, and it has to be done. So like I tell all people, just put on a happy face and grin and bear it. And hopefully by the end, you will see its utility if you don't already. In the first half of the course, we're going to spend a lot of time building a foundation for the study of interpersonal communication. So we're going to start by doing a self-concept worksheet and plan. Some of you have already done that. It is a more personal look at who you are. If you are going to try to become a better communicator with your clients or people in your personal life, the first step towards doing that is knowing how you communicate. It's really hard to interface with your world if you don't already have some idea of what your dominant traits are in this area. So we're going to start with the self-concept worksheet. You'll notice that worksheet has a lot of personal questions that are geared towards you, and it's for your benefit. I really don't need to know about your personal life. I don't really care that much. I want to see that you can apply the concepts. So if you look at the worksheet and you're like, I don't think I want to write this on a document, I don't think I want to put it over the internet, that's cool. You don't have to. What I would encourage you to do is make stuff up. I just need to see that you are able to apply the concepts. So for example, the very end of the worksheet is asking you to apply a theory, which I love, love, love. Theory is awesome because it helps us explain and predict phenomenon. So in this case, we're going to be looking at Schutz's theory of inclusion, control, and affection. And it gives us a lens to look at a relationship or relationships in our life. So if you don't want to talk about a personal relationship, just make up a friend, give yourself a John Doe and imagine what it would be like for inclusion, control, and affection. Again, the big deal is just to see that you understand the concepts. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Professor,
good.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I have Mark Olivo, which is one of our classmates, or one of my classmates in all of my other classes. He's under the impression that he has class at 2 p.m. and because that's what his schedule says. Are the classes split up a little differently?
No, unless he did his time scheduling different. Like, I don't know what time zone he's in.
No, he's in my same time zone. He's in, I believe, Rhode Island.
Okay, so if he's in this class, he would want to be here now. Nothing is split up. There's only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm letting him know now.
Okay, thanks for doing that.
No problem. Thank
These
you.
alliances that you make are really good, very helpful.
Yeah, and I try because sometimes, we're all in different time zones and we're all operating online and the schedules get tricky. Sometimes the updates on Canvas are a little funky.
Yeah.
Our syncing of our calendars gets a little weird.
Okay.
So we just try to, talk in
Yeah,
text.
that's awesome. It's good to have that cohort. So moving on from building a foundation with self, we're going to look at intercultural communication using a case study, and then we're going to look at power and conflict using Erin Brockovich. I love that movie. It's based on a real life story. If you've not seen it, it's okay. You're gonna watch a conflict scene and then apply the concepts to that conflict scene. And we are all doing life and we have all been involved in various organizations, and hopefully this course is going to give you language to do that better, but also to understand the how and the why people act the way they do, why you act the way you do. So that's the first half of the course. The second half of the course is going to be geared much more so toward application. So we're going to look at friendship through different seasons. You're going to look at relational communication, communication between the family, and communication in the workplace, and how those are different and how those are the same, because you're doing both, right? Or three. We've got all these different relationships in our life. So that is the course outlook. When I do the second live event, which is a crash course on public speaking, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I'm also going to cover assignments 4 and 5 and the reflection in detail. So be looking at the announcements often, because every assignment I post some sort of tip or trick, either by video or by Word doc. And there are study guides with every single assignment except for the very first assignment, because it's personal to you. But every assignment, always open that study guide, because you're going to get a list of concepts that you could use to help you focus in on for each question. So now that we've talked a bit about foundation and assignments, let's talk about the actual assignment expectations. One of the things that I request is that you ask questions before you submit. If you do not know what you're doing and you don't know what direction to take, and you feel yourself getting frustrated, even if it's midnight on Sunday and everything is due, I strongly encourage students to just pause and wait for me to be able to talk to you or to write you back to answer your question. That way you're not wasting time, because time is precious. You are not wasting time spinning your wheels, trying to figure out, getting more frustrated. And I am also likely not having to take extra time to explain why your answer is wrong, when I could just explain to you how to get the answer right in the first place. Does that make sense to you? So just communicate with me if you're having trouble, even if it's midnight on Sunday, and just wait. You can turn your assignment in on Monday or Tuesday. It's not that big of a deal to me. I want to see that you're learning and that you are progressing, not only in your knowledge, but in your writing. So writing the best that you can. Some of you have taken English at Bryan and some of you haven't yet. And I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've had high school English. And I'm like, where does the comma go? How do I do quotation marks? So if grammar and punctuation is a bit of a mystery to you, that's okay. I'm not looking at your skill level to be an eloquent writer. I'm looking to see, do you understand the concepts and can you apply them? So I'd like to give you a quick tip for how to do that. That will help you in this class and every single class you take in college and do short assignments. For those of you who have children right now who are going through a school system, this is going to help you help them also write well. Okay, so when you are looking at a short answer question here, actually, let me get out of the screen and pull up an assignment so I can show you. Dun, 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 dun. Chrome. I'm going to go to assignment 2. Student view. Can you see what? No, you're still probably looking at the other screen. Let me change screens. New share, this one. Okay, can you see that okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So this is assignment number 2, and this is the case study that you're going to see for this assignment. You are going to be working at a new company, and here is their company motto, and here are all the people that you're going to get to work with their descriptions. Okay, so then you're going to take the quiz. When you are looking at a short answer question, first thing you need to do is see how many words you need to write. The suggested word count is 50 to 75. And that's because I've been doing this a long time, and I estimated this is how many words it's going to take you to appropriately answer this question. It says, how would you define this company's culture? Refer to chapter 4, section Understanding Culture, our mental software, in your text for guidance. Also, don't forget, there's a beautiful study guide right here that you can download that's going to give you a list of concepts you could use for that question. When I look at short answer questions, the first thing I want to do is see how many questions are there. In this question, or prompt rather, there's only one question. So that gives me a pretty good idea that I'm probably going to have just one paragraph. If there's more than one question, you're going to have more than one paragraph. You're going to take that question and turn it into your topic sentence. How would you define this company's culture? You're going to say, I would define this company's culture as X and Z. Then you're going to define the concept. X means this, Z means that. In every single short answer question, you are going to have to include specific examples from the scenario. So in this case, you're looking for your examples up here in the case study. So after you say X means this, Z means this, you're going to say, for example, we know that X is correct because of the way Sarah handles her, it would be because of Sarah's upbringing and her time in Asia. We know that it is Z because up here in the motto, they talk about meaning what you say and saying what you mean. This is indicative of Z. And then you can write a nice little sentence to cap it all off. Therefore, the concepts are X and Z, and then you're ready to move on. Did you take that all in? I'm looking this way because you're all on this side of my computer. So if you're actually like over there, I apologize. Okay, so that is the best way to write for this course and any course in your entire life, unless your professor tells you otherwise. But I've had the most success, and I've watched students grow in their abilities by using that formula. Usually by assignment 4, the writing has improved tremendously. So make sure you write the best that you can. Moving on, Learn It notes. This course has a higher set level than what you're used to in your program of study, meaning you have to spend a little more time in the Learn It's. The first week is a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. We're covering 3 chapters, so make sure you're giving yourself enough time to get the Learn It's in. After this week, there's only 2 chapters, and some weeks have 1 chapter. The best way I think to get through Learn It's is not to keep it all in your head, to write answers down so that when it comes time to fill in the blanks, you can just look down at your piece of paper and you have the answer there in front of you. There's also something very special that happens between your brain, well, not between your brain, well, I guess between your brain and your hands. When you're writing stuff down, there's something that happens. Any of my exercise people are like, holler, we know that, kinesthetic learning, okay? So that's Learn It notes. Now, finally, assignment late policy. Okay. I really, really, really need you to turn in weeks 1 through 3 no later than the end of week 4. Please try to follow your due dates, but absolutely by the end of week 4, assignments 1 through 3 or weeks 1 through 3 must be submitted. After week 4, I can't give you credit for it. You can turn it in and you can try, but it's in the syllabus and we've all agreed to the syllabus. I've given you the syllabus, you've taken the syllabus quiz, so you know you can't get any credit for assignments before week 4. Now, life gets crazy. If there's extenuating circumstances, that's different, but on the whole, that's where we need to go. The same is true for weeks 4 through 7, the end of week 8, everything has to be submitted. Okie dokie? Cool. So I have talked a whole lot about what I want from you. What should you want from me? You should want me to respond to you, right? How frustrating is it to ask someone a question and not hear from them for a couple of days? I am pretty good at responding within 24 hours. If for some reason I don't, your message has gotten lost. Okay, so please reach out to me again and say, hey, can you help me out? I sent you a message, and I'll be like, what? I'm so sorry. And I am, because I want people to respond to me too. So make sure that I get back to you within 24 hours, and I will. Also, for grading, Brian gives us 5 days to grade assignments. I typically take no longer than 3 unless I'm slammed with assignments. If I'm slammed, it's usually in week 4 or week 8, and I'll let you take a guess as to why in your head. Why would that be? Because some people are turning in all their assignments on week 4, and some people are turning in all their assignments on week 8, and I'm slammed. But otherwise, generally no less than 3 days. I do try to take a rest day on Sundays because that's the day that works best for my family, and people function better from a place of rest. So for the people who got to sleep in this morning, that is so awesome. I encourage you to try to pick out a day or a few hours where you are resting. If your day job or your school is your job and you're doing a lot of brain work, try to rest in a way that doesn't engage your brain. If you have a very physically demanding job, try to rest in a way that doesn't make your body move. Okay, try to find rest. Helps you stay healthy in so many ways. So now we're going to go to everybody's favorite, Yellow Dig. Woo! Okay, so how many of you actually like Yellow Dig? Kinda.
Kind of, sort of. I have mixed feelings about it. You know, when you're not busy and you have time to do it, I like doing it. But, you know, when you got 101 other things to do and you're trying to get your points in Yellow Dig, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But it's nice to be able to talk to your classmates and everything. So,
yeah, I definitely echo that, Jennifer. One of the things that I like about Yellow Dig is because you're going to school online, especially in this course, where we're not meeting every week, it can be easy to feel like an island, and we don't want that. We want to be in community with other people. Also, Yellow Dig is a great place to network, just like Stephanie or Soli, right? Yeah, okay. Just like Soli said earlier, she's got a texting relationship with some of her other peers. You just never know what's going to come down the pike, or you're walking in the grocery store someday and you see somebody with a Brian shirt on. You're like, hey, I went to Brian. No way. What was your favorite class? It was called 115, you know? So it's a good place to be. I try to keep Yellow Dig super fun and light. We do some challenging conversations, but they're engaging. I post a Spark on Mondays, and then I will post a Super Saturday post. So you're not trying to come up with anything on your own. And here and there, I'll throw in a picture or a poll or something that you can do. So at the end of the day, I think spending 30 minutes total through your week on this class in Yellow Dig should be more than enough to give you your points. I can also give you accolades, which go from 75 to 150 points. And on every post, I try to give you at least some extra points. If you respond to the Spark well, you can count on for sure getting 150 extra points on that post alone. So make sure that you are reaching your max every week, because that will build in a buffer for you as we get towards the end of class. If you get really busy or you're working on final projects where you don't feel so pressed, like, I got to get in there and do Yellow Dig. I want you in there. It's fun. There's a lot of cool things to talk about and to go over, but that buffer is really, really helpful. Do you have any questions about Yellow Dig? No? Okay, good. All right, so we are finishing up. That is the course expectations. Oh yeah, you can get an A in this course. There's no reason why you can't get an A and have a 4.0 in every single class at Brian. Brian is unlike any other institution. You can resubmit for mastery as many times as you want to. Always read your feedback. I give super detailed feedback in the comments for your quizzes that tells you exactly why you lost points and exactly how to make those points up. So please make the time to go back and do that. I challenge you. I challenge every single person to aim for 100% in this class. I mean, that would be really cool if everybody got an A. So try, do it, resubmit, don't give up. I know we get tired, but your education is priceless. It just really is. So if you have any questions from me to me, you can either ask them now or you can message me through any of these mediums, and I'm happy to work with you. And I look so forward to working with this new group of students. I always enjoy it. So do you have any questions?
I have another question for Mark.
Okay.
He sent me a picture, which I'm looking at now he's got on his screen, it says live class Thursday at 11 a.m. and it says COM 115. I don't know, he's really confused, but he was in the middle of a meeting with the recruiter. So I simply told him to just be sure to watch the live class. But I think he's got on his account, he sent me an actual photo of it, which I'll forward in the messages to you.
Okay.
Because it does say Thursday, 11 a.m. for him, which would mean 2 p.m., our time.
Yeah. What is his last name again?
Mark Olivo, Olivo, which then that concerns me because I think it would be the same for Casey Sherman, who I also don't see in our class.
Okay, this is what it is. They're not in my class. They're in Valerie Bullett's class. She is a different instructor. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
So maybe he's not realizing that. Okay. That's what I told him. I said, I think it's that it's a large group and we only have 2 classes for the whole thing.
He definitely has a different instructor. And I know for sure, I visited with her. I know for sure her class is in 30 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for clearing that up.
Yeah, and Sherman, I don't see that on my roster either.
Yeah, it's got to be in that one too.
Okay, cool. Any other questions?